Hi, my name is Dr. Kay, and in this presentation, we will talk about choosing your capstone topic. Let's start with an overview of what we will cover today. First, we will define what a capstone project is and how it differs from other types of academic research. Then, we will explore how to select a strong and feasible topic. Finally, I will share a few examples of common mistakes and better alternatives so you can start thinking about your own topic. To begin with, let's take a look at the main characteristics of an EDD capstone research project. So what exactly is a capstone? In our program, it is your culminating project designed to address a real-world problem within your professional setting. It may take the form of an applied research project, action research, practitioner research, or what is sometimes called a dissertation in practice. Regardless of the format, it is grounded in your professional context and aimed at producing change or improvement in your practice. The purpose of your capstone is to investigate a problem of practice. That means you are identifying an issue that exists in your work environment or professional context. Your project should bridge scholarship and practice. Capstone is not about finding a research gap or creating a new theory. It is about using research to take action. The goal is not to produce a massive study, but a small-scale project that is doable and meaningful within your professional practice. It is important to clarify what a capstone is not. It is not a large-scale academic research project. You are not expected to solve a global issue, produce a generalizable theory, or resolve a research gap. It is also not an isolated academic task disconnected from your work setting. The capstone must be relevant to your practice, feasible with your time and resources, and useful to your audience. Speaking of your audience, keep in mind who you are writing for. Your capstone should speak to your professional peers, higher education administrators, students, or members of the community. Think about how your project could inform decision-making, improve practice, or open up new conversations. Now let's go over a few strategies for choosing your capstone topic. When choosing your topic, the first thing to consider is your sustained interest. Ask yourself, will I enjoy reading and writing about this for a year or more? Can I see myself discussing this topic at conferences or including it in job interviews? Does this topic support my long-term professional goals? Choosing something you genuinely care about will help you stay motivated during the research process. The second consideration is feasibility. Ask yourself, can you complete this study during your capstone course sequence? Will it fit alongside your academic, work, and personal responsibilities? Is the scope small enough to manage, but meaningful enough to matter? You will also want to anticipate challenges such as gaining institutional access, getting IRB approval, or collecting data in a short time frame. Next, consider access to data and participants. You do not answer your research questions. Your data does. So you must be able to collect that data. Ask yourself, do I have access to the population I want to study? Can I get the permissions or partnerships I will need? Is this topic ethical and practical for someone in my current position? Do not choose a topic that requires data you cannot reasonably obtain. The fourth factor is your knowledge and skills. Do you feel confident investigating this topic? Do you have the methodological tools you will need or the time to learn them? For example, if your topic involves statistical analysis, are you prepared for that? If you are doing interviews or surveys, do you know how to design those tools and analyze results? Choose something you are ready for or that you can realistically learn with support. Over the next few slides, we will go over examples of effective and not so effective research topics. Let's start with a common example, wanting to improve outcomes for first-generation students. A lot of students are drawn to this population, and for good reason. But simply stating that you want to improve retention among first-gen students is too broad. That would take years and require institutional level data. Instead, focus on a specific strategy or intervention that you can study. In this case, first-year seminars. A good topic might explore how these seminars support first-gen students academically at your own institution. That shift makes the project smaller in scope and much more manageable. Here's an example that is not feasible. This project focuses on an important issue, exploring the mental health of underserved populations. But if you're thinking about studying incarcerated students, keep in mind how difficult it would be to access that group for interviews or surveys. One way to make this topic more feasible is to shift the lens. Instead of focusing on the students, consider faculty who work with formerly incarcerated students. You can explore their perspectives, support needs, or institutional practices. That version still addresses an important issue, but in a way that is more accessible. Lastly, let's take a look at a topic that sounds interesting, but it's not an actual research study, the history of culturally responsive teaching. This is a rich and important subject, but it is also too historical and descriptive for a capstone focused on applied research. A stronger option might be to study something like faculty training for inclusive teaching at your own college. That maintains the original idea, but anchors it in your current setting and invites data collection that can inform practice. To conclude, let's go over a few final takeaways. First, do not go into your topic selection alone. Seek plenty of feedback from your faculty as you shape your ideas. Choose a topic that inspires you and fits your long-term goals. Start with a problem that really matters to you, something you have seen or experienced in your own professional setting. Make sure your idea is something you can realistically manage within the time and resources you have. And most importantly, do not try to tackle a huge problem, but focus on a small and manageable approach. Thank you for watching this presentation on research topic selection. I hope this gives you a clear starting point as you begin shaping your study.